Hey YouTube, this is Sam Dennehy, aka Half-Ass Customs, and this is Half-Ass Presents the podcast / the history of Half-Ass Customs. So this is episode 3 of the history of Half-Ass Customs. What I'm going to talk about today is something near dear to my heart, something that I recently built. I can't believe I built it. I'm happy that I did. And out of all the builds I've ever done, and I posted it on Facebook to a bunch of different sites, the people that saw it went crazy, and it's the most liked and most commented build I've ever done, which is, in my book, amazing. So, without further ado, let's check out what I want to talk about. Dun dun dun. This is Marty McFly's house. Let's get some better light on here. Marty McFly's house with the DeLorean in front with Doc Brown, Marty McFly, and Jennifer. So the really cool thing is Joseph Bilbins, which we all know, he built some awesome structures, modern day restaurants and buildings. He had come up with this design somewhere, I think on Facebook, or I don't know where he came up with it. He got the dimensions somewhere. And he said, I'm going to build this for you. And I was like, hell yeah. So he built the house. The house is built by him. And he sent me the house in the mail. So I knew all I had to do was build the rest. And as you see, this is the whole diorama. Basically, very simple, not too much to it. I built it to where you see it's just one lane of the street. You take a car, you see here that it would basically just fit one car. Maybe on the curb you can have another car passing. Let's see another car passing. There you go. It's a tight fit, but two cars can fit on that road. So one lane basically for the street, and then you got the sidewalk, and then you got the grass. You got the trash cans from the movie. You got the trash can that Doc Brown hit while pulling into the driveway, and then the house, the tree, and all the little details. So I went to YouTube. I watched over and over and over and over and over again the scene where Doc pulls into the driveway and sees Marty out there and Jennifer. And I replayed it over and over and over again to try to get as much of the right details as I could. And this is basically what I come up with. The only thing I'm missing is the Helix, 1985 Helix, Toyota Helix that's sitting in the garage. That's in the works. Right now there is a 3D print off Shapeway somewhere for a very crude version. I think it's upscaled to maybe 1/64th or bigger, so I have to downscale it if I print it. I'm hoping that Mad About Cars designs that version because he has the 1987 through like 91 Helix, so I'm hoping that he makes an older version. I asked him about it, but I don't know. He says he'll look into it. So this is Marty McFly's house. It's at the end of part 1 that you see this scene, and literally at the beginning of part 2 where you see the same scene. That's a very iconic scene because at the end of part 1, at this point, Doc Brown tells Marty, we've got to go to the future because there's something wrong with your kids. There's something got to be done about your kids. And so Marty and Jennifer hop into the DeLorean and they pull backwards onto the street. And then the car hovers and he says, where we're going, we don't need no roads. So I built the DeLorean out of an MPE stock DeLorean, and I created the back with all the wires, and I put a blue bar or whatever you call it on the car to emulate that it was about to take off or do something. So it's a stock DeLorean that I customized into the Back to the Future car. Other than that, I didn't really do all that much else to the DeLorean. I just added all the little detail parts and built this diorama to emulate that scene, because that is an iconic scene. I love that scene because it's in both movies, so you can't really beat it. Other than that, until I get the Helix, I'm considering this done. I don't know what else to do with it, but yeah, I posted it on Facebook and people went crazy. People were asking all kinds of questions and commenting like awesome and how cool is that, and doing a lot of Back to the Future references. So I thought that was pretty neat. Other than that, from there, I did a lot of other Back to the Future stuff. I built the train from Back to the Future 3. I built other DeLoreans. And check this out. Hold up. I finally got my shipment in from Germany of, this is the Back to the Future 2 flying version. If you can see that. Maybe get some light. There you go. You see the wheels are down. So that tells you it's flying. And then this is the Back to the Future 3 car. This is basically, if you're not familiar with the movies, which if you're not, go watch them. This is where pretty much from part 2, at the end of part 2, Doc takes the flying car and saves Marty from 1955 from getting that book that tells him how to win every race, every basketball game, football game, every sports game from 1985 to 2015, I think, the Sports Almanac. Doc goes and saves Marty from getting that from Biff in his car from 1955. And then they go flying up into the air, Marty on the hoverboard, and then Doc's trying to get down and land in a thunderstorm and gets hit by lightning and sent back to 1985. So Doc hides the DeLorean, this DeLorean, in an old abandoned cave in the desert, and then sends Marty a letter saying where he hid it. So in 1955, they can go and take the DeLorean out. Well, the DeLorean had popped tires from this version of the tires. They were popped. So they had to put 1950s style tires on there, and that's where this gets pulled in from. It didn't have any gas because the fuel line was cracked, so they had to pull it by a horse and carriage type of system. It kind of emulated like the old Wells Fargo commercial where he had all the horses. So that's where this version comes from. And then you get the next version, which all they did was change the wheels into train wheels, which you've seen that I've built as well. Let me pause this and go get that version. Alright, I went and got the cars from my other room. Basically, I got it right here. Hold on. Let me get everything situated on it so it looks right. What I did is I took the 3D printed one off a Shapeway and I built that into the train version, because at the time I didn't have the MPE versions. So here is the 3D printed one with the train wheels. As you see, there's no interior. Basically, it's just a solid car with printed windows decals, and then I put the train wheels on there. Basically, these aren't even train wheels. These are from Bosch, I think, from like a touring 1920s car. I realized that it had the perfect set of wheels, so I took them off. It has an inner lip to the wheel, as if the tire shoves on from the outside, and it looks perfect. And I measured them out, put a rod in between them so it would space out right way, and that's the Back to the Future 3 train on the tracks. This I'm building for a customer. This is gonna basically just be the car from the first movie. Very basic. I'm not done building it yet, but I'm almost there. So I've got quite a few DeLoreans now, and if I put them all together, there you go. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it, right? Just 5, yeah. I'll have more soon because I've got customers asking me to build them for them, so I'll be having more soon, and then I'll be posting them on Facebook, and you all see them. Other than that, this is the history of Half-Ass Customs episode 3. I kind of wanted to give you a breakdown of the Back to the Future cars I've built, the diorama I built with them. Real quick, I did not show you this. You've seen it on Facebook, but you haven't seen it on this episode. Hold up. Alright, I'm back. This is what I wanted to show you. It's the steam engine. So I've got the steam engine with the DeLorean on the front. I built this steam engine as a dummy engine, just so I can move it around like this. I got the push bar on the front with the 1950s wheels that came with this one, and the DeLorean is free moving too, so if you push the steam engine, the DeLorean moves along with it. And now we're pretty much ready just to go into the future. But yeah, the decals came from Circuit City decals. They're made strictly for this steam engine, which is from Tyco. It's a Tyco 460. And then this DeLorean is a 3D printed off a Shapeway. I'll have the link for the DeLorean in the description. And these DeLoreans, yeah, good luck. I don't know where you're going to find these. You can look them up on the internet. Just type in MPE DeLoreans. See what's out there, because there's none in the US. I bought this one, which was the last one in the US. And I got this one from a friend. And these two just came from Germany a week ago. So, yeah. I'd say your best bet, probably 3D print it off a Shapeway. It's not that cheap, but at the same time, it's a substitute from the MPE ones that you can't find. If you do find them on like a German train site or something, I think US they're going for like $35 a piece, which is about the same for the 3D printed one, and shipping is the same. It's about $10 to get it here from Germany, and Shapeway asks you to pay $10 for their shipping too. So you can get a 3D printed one for the same price as the MPE one, but I had Germany ship it to the Netherlands to ship it to here, and you have to know somebody in another country that they'll ship to, because right now the US and Germany shipping trade is not open. So I wouldn't have got these when I did if it wasn't for me knowing a good friend in the Netherlands to help me out with that. So other than that, I want to give you a little info on my Back to the Future scenes that I've built, the dioramas, the cars, and everything dealing with this 187 scale HO scale hobby of the history of half-ass customs. And anyways, this is episode 3. Stay tuned for more. I'll be posting them every Thursday. Until then, y'all have a good day. Stay tuned for the next podcast, which I'll be uploading on Mondays. And please be sure to leave a comment if you like it. Hit a like, subscribe, or don't do any of it if you don't like it. Either way, I'll keep on posting and I'll keep on building. Y'all have a good day. Stay nice.